Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I decided to hop back on, play some classic EverQuest. Been a while since I've been on here. Currently, it's kind of a progression server, and so right now the server is currently in Shadows of Luckland or Luceland, however you want to pronounce it. And Thal is pretty much in game here. Right now we're working our way through a few different mobs. We got TVK coming up. And it looks like we got 63 characters right now on. Um, Probably closer to 30 to 40 actual people. Some people dual box on these raids. Want to try out streaming this game specifically because I think they're about to release the next expansion called Planes of Power, and that would actually be a really fun one to progress through on a stream. We'll have to see. I might have to talk to the guild leaders and see about streaming, for tactics and everything. Don't want to give away too much. Uh-oh. That usually doesn't happen. Um, because there are about 4 or 5 other guilds that are in the rotation here. We do a server-wide rotation where we kind of agree on different mobs each reset, which is every Wednesday. And for the most part, it's every 2 resets. In true EverQuest fashion, apparently this guy ghosted a bit and decided to kill a couple people. The server is extremely classic and both how mobs play. It's pretty much EverQuest 1.0 before any patches or nerfs or anything like that. And it is first person only. However, I can toggle out and give a little sky view, third person there. I'm currently playing a level 60 rogue. Very good in groups that already have kind of the main 3 tank, healer, and slower. However, it's a little difficult if you don't have those 3. It's probably the best sustained DPS in the game. Right now, you can see on the ice cold up there's a rogue as well. Sammy, ranger. Some of these mobs, those rangers can get up there in DPS as well. I do not have spell DPS clocked in here, so any of our wizards or mages won't be on this list. It's melee only pretty much. Trying to see if this guy has anything I want as well that drops. It's been a little over a year since I've played, so I haven't really done any of this end game with him. Played a couple of raids here and there. So any of this stuff usually is upgrades for me. Okay, he's got an earring that I'd really like to get my hands on. It's probably my worst slot at the moment. currently have pretty much all my chat hidden. Um, so you can't see how, I guess it works for both ends because you can't point out people maybe running out on beer runs and such. Oh, and I still aggro there, so I'm just going to evade. Back out for a second. All right, let's jump back in now. I think we'll be all right. I had a DI pop. Gotta wait a second. Let's go ahead and click it off. There we go. So this is pretty much end game for Shadows of Luceland. Right now, we'll kind of go back through the other two expansions. Pretty much actually only rating the last expansion in this one right now on the rotation. Some people go back and do the older expansion raids and off nights, and that's kind of a free-for-all throughout the guilds and everything. But there are some useful clickies from older raids and just fun things like illusions and such. Right now, our main rotation's through Kale, so Scars of Velis. We do some Sleeper's Tomb off nights, which are the dragons of that era. But mostly it's Kale, which is the giants, home to the giants and Avatar of War. And then a lot of Luklin or Lucelin, however you want to pronounce it. We do a lot of SSRA, um, which is Snake Haven, so Emperor in there, and a lot of Suru on those rotations. And then Vexthal, which we're in right now, is pretty much the go-to for best loot. I could probably show you. Here's an example of like, let's look at, it's like this is kind of like pretty good mid-tier Scars of Elias loot. And then I just got these a few nights ago, and you can kind of see all the stats are a little more improved. And for rogues, I want my main stats attack, as you can see right here. And so this Vengeance increases that and basically allows me to yeah, hit for a little bit more with each blow. So that's pretty much what I go for in all my spells as well. Well, I got two spells here that don't even matter, but I got the slots, so I'll just keep them there in case I get dispelled or something. So as you can see here, I just swapped out my main hand for this, which drops off of one of the primals in Sleeper's Tomb in the Scars of Elias, but it gives me Avatar, which you can see has a proc on it. Increases my attack by close to 100 probably. And then I'll switch back to my main hand here. So they've pretty much been farming this in-game content for a while now. I would say almost a year. So everybody's thinking that Planes of Power will release end of this year, if not beginning of next. I think right now they have pretty much all of the um, zones or dungeons open on the test server except for the final one. So they just have one more and a few more bugs to work out. And and then you should release it. And the devs here are awesome. I mean, they work so hard on this stuff and they don't get paid for it or anything, really. And they usually like to kick off things with a boom. So there is an anniversary every year at the end of the year, beginning of the next year, kind of around New Year's time. They do fun little raids and quests, scavenger hunts, that sort of thing. Yeah, they do a great job, and they're constantly fixing it. Every week they have bug patches, it seems. I mean, down to right now, they're down to even the smallest things. I mean, if text is slightly different or misspelt or something on some random NPC nobody's ever even seen. Got this guy down to 16%. One thing you notice about Vexthal is the mobs in here have so much hit points. Our DPS is okay tonight. It's about average. Actually, they're talking about logging in a few more wizards for DPS just to kick it up a notch. All right, what do we get? So we got Cloak of Glowing Embers, Flowing Thought, that's mana regeneration. Um, so that's really good alteration as well. It's not good at 3%. It's not really going to do too much though. But yeah, good hit points and good resist. So somebody might want that. Gloves of Warding. Um, okay, probably not the best. Probably gonna go to some alt and then spell drop, Burnout Blaze, mage spell. Buffs mage pets like this guy. So we all just dropped the raid, and around Vexthal, if you were to try to clear it in a week, it would take a lot of time just because the mobs have so much hit points. Like even the um, like non-named mobs, to clear through the entire thing just from one boss to the next um, takes a really long time. So what we did is at the very beginning, when we first broke in, we had a team go in and we placed mages around the whole zone or the whole fortress here and in safe spots. So then mages can summon people, and then what we do is we anchor using eyes or um, different ways, and we basically summon up to each boss, and that allows us to bypass a lot of time and a lot of killing. We still have to do some clearing, but it definitely helps after the first break-in. Another guy that's been streaming on here a lot in our guild is Smudge. This guy right here. The little gnome dude. All his guys are gnomes, I believe. But he's been streaming a lot as well, so go check him out um, as well. And he's got his stream dialed in a little better than mine. Again, I'm trying to get there. Streaming out of the living room right now. Hopefully when the new house is built, we'll have a camera and setup and everything, and I'll probably rotate through like Apex Legends and maybe some other things as well. We'll see. Have a kid on the way, so that's gonna definitely take up some time. And I guess I went back and read your question there. Um, so we have killed 2 mobs tonight. 3 mobs. We have killed three of the bosses tonight. And I believe we have quite a bit more to go. So I think we have another 3 or even 4 tonight. And then they're doing another 4 tomorrow night, 4 or 5 tomorrow night, and then 2 on Sunday. But tonight we will kill the big boss of the zone. Her name's Tin Hara. Right. Currently, she drops the best loot in the game. It's a picture of her down below, next to chat. So just a little backstory. We're actually on the moon of Narath right now. And you can either call it Luklin or Luslin, Lucklin. People pronounce it different ways. I haven't quite figured out which one's the correct way of pronouncing it, but basically this is their home. We've invaded and decided to start killing them all. So these are basically giant aliens and shadow people and lizards up here on the moon. Back at Norath, it's mostly dragons, giants, dwarves, your normal stuff. But yeah, up here it gets a little wild. Planes of Power, which is due to release, basically goes through the different planes and the different gods of each plane. Like Plane of Disease, Bertoculus, Torment, you got Saren, yeah, all the different deities. Tactics, you got Valen, Talon, and Ralos Zek. Yeah, and then at the end of it, so you progress through the different planes, unlocking each one, and then you eventually unlock the elemental planes, where you have to kill the avatar of earth, water, air, and fire. And those, we'll see how air is on this one. There was a couple of tricks you could do back on the original Max server, Alcabor. So we'll see how that turns out. But the Wraith Council in the plane of Earth is pretty much one of the most intense raids, I mean, that you can think of out of EverQuest, or at least like, up to Planes of Power. In fact, I don't think anybody ever beat version 1.0. There was a slight nerf on ours. One of them was kind of, sorry. there's a slight nerf on the original Akabor where one of the guys was kind of bugged and hitting for way too much. I mean, they still hit hard. I think they're talking 5K hits, and as you can see right now, I mean that's just as much as my hit points now, and they double attack, they triple attack, quad, and so they're hard hitters, and you got to mez 6 of them and then kill them all at the same time after going around killing the others. But once you do that, you unlock the plane of time where you basically go through and kill all the different gods, and that's in game. And then at the very end, you get to fight the four-headed dragon of Quorum, which was never beat on Alcapor, the original Max server. Quorum 1.0 was never beat on any server actually. And Wraith Council, we're Temerity, the guild I'm in. Um, we were the first ones to beat the Wraith Council, basically 1.0, and then enter the plane of time 1.0. However, Quorum was is just almost impossible, and that was right before the server got shut down. However, on this server, we were able to kill Vulok in Scars of Elias in Era, and I don't like original 1.0, and I don't think anybody ever did that ever before. Granted, we do have a lot more information, and these guys have been playing for, I mean, years and years and years. So it's not really quite comparable to back in 2000. So right now they're inviting us one at a time and summoning us up, teleporting us to them through Call of the Hero, a mage spell. I think we're kind of doing this out of order, so it's not a typical crawl just because of these mages and the way they're set up. When we enter the planes of power, it will be definitely a much more normal crawl through a lot of the dungeons and zones as you would expect to the final boss. I think we have 2 more mobs until the final boss of this place. But again, we're going out of order, so I think after that we might hit a few more if we have the DPS to do it. As you can see, we're all trying to stay along this wall here, because if we step out at all, it's even risky summoning horses sometimes here, because you can get a huge train. Yep, looks like Gadzooks just pulled something. I don't know if we'll switch and kill that guy real quick. Yeah, let's switch and kill that. I think we got one or two before Atenara. Again, we're kind of doing this out of order, just because we've been farming this so much we don't really clear through. We have mages set up to summon us around. We currently have 65 characters right now killing this guy. Probably about 40 actual people. Some people 2-box for the cleric rots or even wizards or utility like shamans and stuff to help heal and keep everybody alive. Yeah, I'm really hoping I could stream Planes of Power. It'd be a really fun progression to do and like schedule out the streams. Again, with strategies and stuff being kept pretty close, we'll see. I think they might, as long as we hide chat and everything. Not show too much. I first leveled up, so this server you're limited to 3 characters at a time logged in. So you can only triple box, and maining a rogue has been a little difficult in that I've pretty much had to tank with the rogue, and that's definitely not ideal, especially when you get later on in the game, kind of where I am. Uh, Mobs start hitting really hard, and as soon as you get more than one, you're pretty much done on a rogue tank. My other 2 utilities I leveled up were a mage and a shaman. I'm currently trying to level up a Shadow Knight right now, so I could use as a primary tank and also a pooler since they get feigned death. So I can pretty much tag, pull them out, snared, and also um, Shadow Knights and Paladins, mostly Shadow Knights, can just hold aggro so well and pull aggro that I wouldn't have to worry at all battling aggro on my rogue. We might do a stream of me leveling that guy up. I think he's currently like level 29, somewhere in there. I actually really enjoy going back and playing the lower level dungeons. Single box and not worrying about power leveling or anything like that. I think that's where some of the most fun is. Even like that was when this server first started, and just everybody just has classic gear, just extremely basic, and it's just everything's hard mode. It's so much fun. I mean, this game compared to a lot of games these days is definitely on the harder side. If you die, you have to run back, grab your corpse, you lose experience. You either have to get a res to get your experience back, or a resurrection by cleric or paladin. Um, and sometimes your corpse gets stuck way down in a dungeon. There's just no way. And so luckily, necromancers can summon in zone and some shadow knights, depending on your level. But it's not like a lot of games that you can get around all that. Spawn back with all your gear. Don't have to run back for all your gear. Don't lose experience. The quests hold your hand and kind of guide you. But I enjoy it. That's why when this server first opened back up, everybody had basic gear. I mean, you're just dying constantly to even the wimpiest stuff on this. You just get too many mobs on you and you're done. All right, let's see what we got here. Little dagger of thought. I don't know if there's any mains that need that. Sorry, I had to take a quick phone call there. Appreciate it. Yeah, we got another one down here. Forget what we got coming out right now. So yeah, we're all packed against the wall right now here, trying to stay out of line of sight from some of these roamers over here. These guys get too close, they aggro all these guys down the hall there. And then we're dead. I guess we're clicking up here. Alright. These EOM guys can drop some loot too, but it's really rare. I think it's like a 4% drop. Because we are basically in classic 1.0 EverQuest mode here. It is first person only, but I'll do my best to kind of toggle out, help you all see what's going on. Again, I'm hoping our house is supposed to be finished in about a month or two. Get a nice setup there, get a dual box, so hopefully I can have maybe some more information going on screen and have maybe some of the loot that each one drops on the side. It's work in progress. Again, I haven't played probably in about a year or so, so these guys have all farmed this dungeon quite a bit and gotten what they need. So a lot of them are rolling for their alts. There are quite a few new members too, though. Everybody I've met so far has been super, super nice and fun to play with. A lot of these guys are OGs as well, though. Played with them back in college, back in the old days. This game will suck you back in, that's for sure. So up next we got VX AHR. Let's see what. All the names in here just kind of blend together to me, so I gotta kind of go through and see what each one drops, remind myself. Okay, there's a few things we might go in on here. Hopefully they drop. I think Ice Cold and I are the only two rogues on at the moment. Roll the rot. Some of these mobs do different things like fling, and none of these really do AEs or anything like that, in VT at least. I think the fling is kind of a dumb mechanic anyway, but it is what it is. When you get into the planes of power, though, that's where you start getting a mix of different AEs, single target DDs. It gets pretty fun. Planes of Power is probably my favorite expansion. I mean, outside just the base of EverQuest. So on this, there's a helmet that would be an upgrade for me. Um, a wrist piece. There's a couple of things. Got some pretty good stuff. Let's see if we work our way up the DPS chart there. It's usually a battle between the Rangers and Rogues at the moment. Rogues can usually do longer sustained. And again, I don't have any of the casters on here. Melee only. So wizards and mages, sorry. Get a little avatar going. Or DPS up. Eventually I'll hopefully be able to channel in the sounds and everything. In fact, I could probably turn it on. Might be annoying though. I kind of enjoy it sometimes. I even kick on the music here, the classic uh, music just for nostalgia's sake. I got avatar proc, switch back to our other main. Might even, I'll save the disc for the final boss. Hopefully once I get my Shadow Knight up too, I can start grinding some experience, get some AAs. Right now I'm slacking in a lot of that stuff, and especially when Planes of Power comes out, there's a few rogue abilities that are must-haves. Like Shroud of Stealth is by far the best. It's one of the best abilities that you can get in any of it, all the characters, I think, or all the classes rather. Basically makes you invisible to every single mob, even see invis when using the rogue's sneak hide ability. It's very useful for corpse dragging on wipes, or just to get fun video of mobs that usually see invis, like raid encounters and boss mobs. Some fun pictures. Also, we have an escape ability that basically clears us of aggro, and we go invisible. To reset every 30 minutes. Ice Cold and then the main rogue in the guild, Tarkon, both have quite a bit more AAs and quite a bit better gear than I do. So you can definitely see the difference there. I've only done close to 40,000 Ice Cold's already at 51,000. Tarkon, I think he hardly misses any raise. I'm surprised he's been off, but he pretty much has best in slot on almost every character, I think. All of his alt characters as well. All right, let's see what we got. Cloudy Mark. Ooh, Earring of Battle. Both upgrades for me. Ooh, all those are upgrades for me. Um, I think we're gonna go in on the Earring of Battle. I think we have to. That's our worst slot right now. Again, the Aura Battle adds attack, and that's the number one stat rogues kind of go for. Cloudy Mark as well. And as all these have Inventions' attack as well. So all of these are man, I kind of want to go in the rest, but I'll hold off. All right, well, we won the Earring of Battle. So that's definitely awesome. Huge upgrade. Massive, massive, massive upgrade. That was my worst in slot. Do it. Bam. Even the hit points alone went from 5,166 to almost 5,300. Attack up almost 20. Yeah, huge upgrade. Really wanted to go in on that necklace too, but I think stats aren't too much different than what I already had, and I already won one thing from that, so usually out of respect. Just do a one and done per corpse. The way loot works in this guild is for mains, it's basically decided amongst the officers unless your priority like a cleric or a tank. And after that, for alts, there's an alt DKP, and people would bid DKP points to get an item for their alt. Seems to work pretty good. Our officers do a great job and are constantly on here. All of them are so knowledgeable too. I trust any of their opinions. Alright, this is fun fake wall. Run through it. A lot of people click up and die. Don't click up. So here we basically train all the mobs away and run through the gauntlet. And click up. There she is. The final boss. Tinhara. Also, some people forget to click up there on the one you're actually supposed to click up to and end up dying as well. So a lot of people get yelled at. People will definitely have to be a little sharper. Not that we're bad. We're as a guild, we're amazing. Pretty much been server first on everything and world first on a few things. But we've been farming this so long that people have gotten pretty relaxed. When Planes of Power come out on kill calls and stuff like that, I think I'll have to get a little sharp again. It's classic EverQuest, a little bug there on shorter characters. You can kind of peek through the wall. You can't target or anything, but hopefully everybody made it up. Nobody's dead. Nara. Basically all the casters will come over here and heal through the wall so they don't get hit by anything, and then we'll tank it on the other side by the pillar. Probably be good if I got a group. I usually use old models, but I figured for streaming and everything, if people were to come and watch the game, me play, or come check out EverQuest for the first time, it'd probably look pretty strange to them that it is that boxy and pixelated. I like the old models though, especially the ogres and trolls. The trolls are the funniest. Probably the funniest looking character out of many games. All right, let's go. So I got silence there. So the only thing that I have to worry about for something like that is my procs. So right now I can't cast, or I can't put in my other weapon to proc Avatar until that goes away. So now I can proc it. Let's see. Got it procced, and that can be random based on percent. Least amount of hate or haste you have, the faster things usually proc for you. All right. Let's get our DPS going. Yes, this is the final boss of the zone, and she has a ton of hit points. As you can see, we've only got her down to 85%, and we've probably already done 200,000 at least, if you include caster DPS. Well over 1,000,000 hit points. See if I can get a better view here. Kinda. Got a little fling action too. Another thing in EverQuest, a lot of things are just text-based, super basic. I mean, even to all the particle effects and everything, extremely basic. I mean, it was pretty much the first MMO that had all the modern day MMO aspects. I mean, base aspects. Inspired a lot of other games. All right, let's go. I was wondering why I was falling down the DPS charts. I lost taste. Makes sense. There we go. And a few other things too, but hopefully now with haste we'll work our way back up the charts. Yeah, that's a good 50% increase or at least. Go ahead and pop a disc too to try to catch back up. So I get stunned in the middle of the disc. So this mob drops some of the current best gear in the game, but also even through Planes of Power. I mean, this neck is best in slot through most of it till very end game through the next expansion. It gives you like a ton of hit point and mana regen, attack, and a few other goodies on there as well. I would normally put in for it, but I don't think I have a chance. I think there's still quite a few mains still getting, because I mean it's only basically we do Vex Thal almost like once every 2 months or so, and each time we only get to kill this boss twice, and so that means we only get about 12 of those a year, and with about 40 people in the guild and rotating. I might put my name in just for fun. Got some aggro or something bouncing around here. He also drops a mask, earring, and arms that are best in slot for me as a rogue. The arms give 50 attack, which is huge. I mean, most other items give 10, 15. We'll see if it drops. The arms I got now are pretty good though. I got those from here as well. Thorny chain sleeves. Vengeance 3. Pretty good stats. Good AC. So hopefully, I'm kind of hoping the arms don't drop, so then I don't feel bad for picking up those arms. But or I don't have to make the decision. Of course, they'll probably drop though. All of our raids start at 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, if I'm not streaming or anything, Smudge streams. I think his name is just Smudge Twitch. He's another member in the guild. There's a few other people on this server that stream as well. Rumiel, EQ, super knowledgeable. He's always on super late at night even. I'll see notification he'll pop on like even 3 a.m. sometimes. I don't know if he's in Europe or just has those hours. But yeah, all two fun people to watch. I've also seen Carnage has been playing some EverQuest, although he's on kind of the servers that have all the newer kind of comfort settings. Like I don't even have a map. That's how original this server is. No map or anything. Of course, I've changed my UI to um, Power of 2 UI, which was a basic Mac interface one. So it's not the classic, but most everything on here is pre-nerf. All right, 2%, 1%. Let's get the kill. Sammy got the kill. The altar. Ooh, okay. Okay, we got some good loot. Got some good loot. Torch of Judgment. It's a good flowing thought item for those, because it fits in the range slot, which is awesome. Crimson Rune Mask. This is best in slot for me at the moment. I'm definitely going in on that. I don't know if I'll get it. Again, these are pretty much the only things people are still going after. Got Robo Secrets as well. Pretty sure that's best in slot for casters. For Necro Wiz Mage Enchanter. Based. Intelligent based. Also, this dropped Greater Concussion. Decreases aggro for wizards. Basically less deaths. Sounds like there's some debate going on for the other items. We'll see if we're good on anything. I'm happy for the knight though. I got that earring. That's a huge upgrade. That was my worst slot. Now my other earring is also my worst in slot, so it could use an upgrade there too. But I mean, the mask I have is pretty good for stats. It's just the 30 attack on this mask, and some of the other stats are definitely worth the upgrade. 50 AC. I mean, that's huge, especially in Planes of Power. Right now, currently in this expansion, I think 1 AC is roughly, this is just how people kind of, for tanks at least, not necessarily for melee, but for tanks, 1 AC equals around 5 HP, just in rough calculations on when tanking. Not as much for melee, but still it helps. Especially when I pull aggro like I did earlier and get bopped a few times. Bop! Besides escape. Escape is a full aggro wipe. I can also evade, and basically just resets me on the aggro list. Usually works to get rid of aggro on something. Also just helps if the tank holds aggro, but... Oh, right on. Didn't get the mask, but a long time raider won it, so... And Sammy Ranger won the talisman, the neck item. That's huge. Alright, take an evac. That's it for tonight. Basically teleports us back to the zone entrance, where we will camp and say our goodbyes until hopefully tomorrow I'll be on as well. Kill some more mobs in here. These halls are huge. Scale in this place is definitely impressive. Textures, by today's standard, not so much. But doesn't bother me at all. Play for the content. I was made group leader there. Alright, y'all. In the stream there. Y'all have a wonderful night. It was a good first stream. Figure some things out. I was using regular OBS. Switched to Streamlabs because I was having trouble, and the layout was a lot nicer with some audio stuff. Hopefully, right now I have my desktop muted, but hopefully I'll get some voice meters set up so we can maybe get some Discord going even with some people. Again, I'll be playing other games as well, like Halo, Apex, and probably some Battlefield when that comes out later on. Anyways,